Hey guys, it's Vincent with VASCO Toys. Today on VASCO Tips, we're going to talk about glue. We're going to talk about which kinds of glue you should use in different diorama building scenarios so that you guys can get the best possible results in keeping those pieces together.
VASCO Toys, action figure, dioramas, and props.
So the most common glue that I'm using on diorama builds is hot glue at a low temperature setting. So a lot of hot glue guns will come with dual temperature, so high or low. You want to use low when you're working with XPS foam because high temperature on a hot glue gun is actually going to melt the foam, which can damage the diorama and be really problematic for you. So I always use low. And the hot glue gun, the best thing about the hot glue gun is that things dry very quickly and they set very quickly. So if you want something to be in place and you don't want to wait, overnight or, even longer sometimes, then you want to go with the hot glue. That said, hot glue can be susceptible to hot temperatures outside. I've never personally had problems with like a diorama piece having a glue piece melt off in hot temperatures, and I live in South Carolina where it gets very hot in the summer. But I've heard other people say they've worried about that, so just something to consider as you're thinking about it. But when you're getting your hot glue sticks, there are kind of two different kinds of hot glue guns. This is like, I guess, the standard hot glue gun, which comes with the standard the more thick glue stick. And they have the short glue sticks and they have the longer glue sticks, which I don't think you guys can see in the frame. I like to get the longer ones just because then I don't have to change them out as much. But you can get glue sticks pretty cheap. You can find packs of glue sticks at the dollar store at Dollar Tree for literally $1 for now at least. And then the other ones I would get at like Hobby Lobby, which are the longer ones. But as long as you make sure you stock up on these, because you don't want to run out in the middle of your project, then you should be pretty much fine with the hot glue. So I'm going to demonstrate real quick an instance where I could use hot glue. This is a super simple instance. Just to give you guys some context, all of these bricks that you see are individually cut. Every single one of them I glued on here with hot glue. So foam to foam, low temperature hot glue, that works for that. But we're gonna go ahead and put this doorknob on the door. This is a 3D printed doorknob, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on this. You get some stringing, you can pull that away, and then you just want to place it where you want it to be and press down, and very quickly it's already in place. And so the nice thing is, like, the doorknob is not something that is any load bearing, weight bearing at all, like a door hinge. If it was a door hinge, I would use stronger glue that would take longer to set, but since it's just a doorknob and it's not a functional door, I'm comfortable putting hot glue, using hot glue for that. One of the most important glues that I use is Hot Wire Foam Factory Styrogoo, which is something that is really, really good for bonding to XPS foam in a more strong permanent bond. So this glue, when you put this on, it is typically set in 30 minutes and it's fully adhered within 12 hours. But the nice thing is you can kind of wobble it around after 30 minutes. It's not going to move much anymore. So it's not as quick as the hot glue, but it is a stronger hold. So the scenarios that I would really use this in would be for things that I really want to make sure are not going to move. Like if I did a gate and I had hinges on the gate, I would want the hinge components to be glued to the foam with this, so that over time, with the wear and tear of moving the hinge back and forth, it would not come off of the foam. Another example would be like if I'm gluing light fixtures onto foam and I don't want them to be able to move, or a lot of the time when I use my PLA 3D printed parts, I will glue those 3D printed parts onto the foam with this Styrogoo, and then I know after it dries that it's going to be really solidly on there for the life of the diorama. So now I'm going to show you guys Gorilla Glue. This is the clear Gorilla Glue. I use this specifically when I want to glue on windows, or so if I'm using acrylic, plexiglass type materials, or if I'm using plastics or anything like that that I'm gluing that's going to serve as a window, I use this because it provides less smudging and fingerprinting than other forms of glue. So I'm going to show you guys an example of me using this. Okay, so we've got the Gorilla Glue. This is a 3D printed window that I use. This is 1/12 scale. It's my custom design. This is the front of it. This is the back that we're going to be gluing. And then this is a Dollar Tree cutting mat, which a lot of people use for their window panes. So that's what we're going to be gluing onto the 3D printed PLA part. So the first thing we're going to do is take the cap off, obviously, and we're just going to like really lightly apply some of this along the framing of the edge of the window. And then what I'm going to do to try to prevent this clogging or this smudging is I'm going to just use a paintbrush that I really don't care much about because it's going to get ruined. And I'm just going to try to, as evenly as possible, spread this throughout the piece. And I feel like I've done a good job of that. So then I'm going to take the plexiglass and put it in place. This isn't plexiglass, by the way. I meant to say plastic sheeting. And slowly just tap it into place. Now this is going to take 12 to 24 hours to set. And you really don't want this stuff on your skin because Gorilla Glue is no joke. So what I'm going to do is this will be what it looks like when it's done. Just like that. And there's actually I need to clean that up. There's a little bit of smudging on the edge of the window because I put too much glue there, just so you guys can see. But once I clean that up and I'll just use a paper towel with some water on it, then it's going to really look good when it's done. The final glue that I'm going to show you guys today is Mod Podge, which isn't always used as a glue. It can be used as a sealant. A lot of people will put this on after they paint their dioramas. It's totally a use case for Mod Podge. But for me, I like to use Mod Podge when I'm laying down rubble. If I'm putting sand on something, if I'm putting rocks on something, if I want to put debris, I'll lay down the Mod Podge first and then sprinkle everything on top. And then I use a Mod Podge and water solution. This is a very small amount. Usually I fill it up quite a bit more to douse anything like blended turf on top of it, anything like rubble, cat litter, actual dirt, sand. If you're doing any of that stuff, then you want to douse it in the Mod Podge water solution because that's going to really, once it dries, it's really going to solidify that in place so that those loose crystals or like small, fine kind of particles are not coming off of your diorama piece. So that's a use that I have for this. That's the main use that I have for this. There are some other things that I do with it. Like I'm actually going to be using this to create a water effect in another video that I'm going to have coming out. That's basically something where I'm using toilet paper and glue. That's kind of a specialized use case for this. But Mod Podge is something that you really should have in your shop if you're a diorama creator. You're going to find a use for it one way or another. And so it's something that you should consider getting. One type of glue that I don't have in the shop but is an honorable mention because I know a lot of other people use it in diorama making would be wood glue. And I would totally use wood glue. I kind of feel like I get by with the glues that I've showed you all in this video but that's something that a lot of people use and swear by, and it's something that I'll get into in the future. I just haven't done a lot with it, and I don't currently have any in the shop, so I couldn't show it in the video. But that's something that you guys should consider as an option as well, since this is a glue guide video. Thanks everyone for watching this episode of VASCO Tips, where we focused on glue and how to use it in different diorama making scenarios. If you found this episode interesting and informative, I'd ask that you would subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and please leave us a comment and let us know what other tip videos you want to see in the future. We're going to have tutorials, we're going to have diorama showcases, but we do want to know what tips you want to see. So other than that, we will see you in the next episode, and thank you so much for watching.